was supposed to give me the. I asked Dad to give me a cup of water, just for my water thing, and I left it upstairs. Crazy.
All right, dude.
You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's do this thing, bro. Oops.
Oh,
I never remember the right thing. Are we dancing now? That's what we do.
No, I want you to fucking start the show.
Well, I guess you can't start there, can I? Have to edit that out too. Oh my god. All right. Well, give me like 3 seconds, then I'm gonna start because I don't want to start like that again. I gotta find a new intro. I feel like my intro is stolen from like every content creator, like literally ever. I mean, how else do you start a podcast? You know what I mean?
Say welcome back, right?
Hello, this is another episode of AfroLatinos.
That's how you think I sound.
That's how you be sounding sometimes. But it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. You ready? All right, bet.
Oh no.
That's how we do it, Jenny? That's how it's
Look
done?
at those curls. Oh my god. You can't see yours, but you know.
I need a haircut.
So
I just made my appointment today. I'm struggling. You ready? Let's get this thing started. All right. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of AfroLatinos. It is your boy Aubyn and my co-host
Chandler
Figueroa. Cheney, what's up, man? How you been?
I'm still in the closet, but I'm good.
Still in the Ruby ain't let you out yet, huh? You just gonna stay in there forever? Does she let you have to go to the bathroom? You got a bucket in there to go to the bathroom, or
no? She lets me out for the bathroom.
She does.
If I need, if I want to get a quick snack, she's like, only the snack, and then get back. You know what I'm
saying? That's crazy. Are you okay? Do I need to call someone? I probably feel like good. You're good. Are you scared of her? Is that why she's listening, isn't she? She's outside of the door. You try to open the door, sneaking out. You like peek open the door. She's standing there.
She's just watching.
Just standing there, staring at you. That's hilarious. Well, we're back with an episode. Whoa, was that English? What was that? What did I just say? I don't think so.
It sounded fine. Okay, continue.
Well, as long as it sounded good to you, as long as it sounded good to the viewers, I don't care. Welcome back to another episode of AfroLatinos, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. We are so excited for another episode. We're back. We got a semi normal schedule, I think, of recording and releasing releasing podcasts, the podcasts and stuff. I know, right? Imagine. I got stuff that I have to finish, but I'm so unmotivated right now to do anything. I'm just like, I just can't. But anyway, if you've been following us, you noticed that last week we have a new visual aspect on our YouTube page, AfroLatinos. Please search us up. And if you subscribe to our page, you will notice a brand new show called AfroLatinos and Amigos, which is, first of all, super fun, super exciting. It's an opportunity for us to play some games with our friends on Zoom. And also a great opportunity for you to just hear us a little bit more than just the 45 minutes to an hour that you hear us normally. The show AfroLatinos and Amigos is a YouTube exclusive piece of content. So, if you want to watch, you got to subscribe or at least visit our YouTube page to check us out. So that's super exciting. Chandler is unfortunately still trapped in the closet. He's not been outside much from the last week. Although his camera quality has gotten significantly better. So she must love you a little bit. Ruby must.
She doesn't let me out, but sometimes she gives me upgrades and some things. You know what I mean? Was I blind last week? I don't think I had glasses last week.
You did not have glasses on last week.
Look at that.
So she gave you glasses. She gave you new computer. I mean, she's hooking you up. But just as long as you stay in the closet. And that's
making sure I stay alive. But
yeah, exactly. So this week we got a kind of exciting episode. I think all of our episodes are pretty exciting, even when we do deal with some pretty serious topics. But this week we're going to have a little bit of a competition between Cheney and I, which is not that uncommon. It's interesting because when Cheney and I play games together and stuff, like, oh my gosh, if we're like at my house playing games, almost always I will win. I think I've only lost a couple times, no matter what game we're playing. But if we're like online, I don't know what the difference is. I don't know if it's the lag. I don't know if it's the latency. I don't know what it is. But if we're online, I almost always lose. And so today we're going to have a little competition. And really the competition is really more of a debate, which, that's always fun to do a little bit. But today we're going to be trying to figure out if Cheney and I can determine who is the GOAT of all GOATs. So if you've never heard the term GOAT before, in reference to a person, I don't know where you've been. I don't know what rock you've been living under. But in case you have been, the GOAT stands for the greatest of all time. And so today, Cheney and I are going to be discussing the 4 major sports in the USA. So you got baseball, basketball, football, and hockey. And we're going to try and figure out who is the GOAT, in our opinion, of each sport. We're going to pair some sports against each other and see if we can determine who is the greatest sports player, sports athlete of all time. And I'm pretty excited. I think we might agree on some of these picks. I think we probably will end up disagreeing on some picks. But you know what? That's all right because it's all in the love of the game, right?
Yeah.
Sure. So, excuse me. Sorry, guys. I apologize. Getting over a little cold, so I want to apologize for the. What was that? Want to apologize for the lacking on my end here and the coughing that you're hearing. So I'm sorry. All right. So here's how this is going to work. We got a little bracket set up. We're going to go each sport, athlete by athlete. I'm going to make a pick. Cheney's going to make a pick, or in whatever order. It doesn't really matter. We're going to talk about baseball, basketball, NFL, and NHL. And then we're going to end it with our final battle of our 2 GOATs on either side, compare them against each other, and figure out who is the greatest athlete of all time. Cheney, this was kind of your idea to talk about today. I think it's come from a lot of discussion that we've had in private, some things that we've talked about with our other friends and stuff. So I think that it would be pertinent for you to start. Why don't you get us started with your first pick?
My first pick for MLB, for all these sports, it's a very subjective thing.
Of course.
It's very opinionated. So for MLB, it could be many people.
So many players in MLB, right?
So many players, and it could honestly, if I think of probably the greatest. Because I don't know. I've not, but I can't choose. I want to say Babe Ruth, but that's such a typical, if somebody would say Michael Jordan in the NBA. Because Babe Ruth is Babe Ruth. But there's also David Ortiz, who's, you know what I'm saying.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Listen, I get it. I get it. You're a Red Sox fan, and just like a Red Sox fan, everyone that comes out of Boston is the greatest at everything, greatest that's ever lived and breathed. But let's be realistic here. We're going the greatest of all time. Now, if we're going to say greatest DH of all time,
David Ortiz.
I might give you David Ortiz. I might let you have that.
Okay. See,
but
it's very
simple. Greatest baseball player of all time? You're crazy. If you
baseball
think
player
David
of all
Ortiz.
time. Because there's
he couldn't run. He wasn't that great in the field. He's not even great at his position. And for a little bit, his first couple of years, he was great at his position at first base. But there's a reason they moved him to DH, and it's because he was old and he was huge and he couldn't play defense. So
he was built different. He was so good. They were like, we don't even need you on the field, bro.
I don't think that's what it was.
Enough. Anyways, was Robert Clemens top notch?
He was a pretty good pitcher. I think he.
So was Ted Williams.
I think he's not. Are you going to pick just Boston players? Is that what your goal for today is?
It's just what comes up. Ted Williams. He was Yankees and Red Sox, so I don't want to hear that.
I think that Clemens' big thing is that he's as good as he was, he'll never make the Hall of Fame. Is it Clemens? Roger.
Yeah.
You said
Roger
Robert.
Clemens?
It's Roger. It's definitely Roger.
It's Roger. It's definitely Roger.
It's definitely Roger.
It's definitely Roger.
Yeah, it's Roger.
It's Roger.
Who
I said
also played
Roger.
for the
Are you
Yankees at
drunk?
some point? No, I'm pretty sure you said Robert. We can roll the tape back if you want, but I'm pretty sure you said Robert.
We don't
I'm
need
pretty
to
sure you
roll it
said
back.
Robert.
We don't need to roll it back.
So it's Roger Clemens. Fun
Roger.
fact. Did you know that his name is William? Rogers is his middle name.
William Roger Clemens.
William Roger Clemens. I would have never guessed in my entire life that was his middle
Guess
name.
that's how he's known, as Roger Clemens.
But yes, he was a good pitcher. But he's a controversial for some stuff. So I mean, maybe you say he's the best. I probably wouldn't. But
oh my God, because like Bo, like Ken Griffey, just greats. Like, it's so hard for the greatest. I'm just gonna keep it simple. I'm just gonna go Babe Ruth because it's just a typical. So I'd say probably Babe Ruth because Babe Ruth.
well, and here's the thing. Babe Ruth. Long time ago, he played in MLB, right? Long time ago. But
Long time ago.
Can you hear me? I'm hearing crackling.
Yeah,
Is that on my end or you're on it? Is that just me?
Maybe.
I don't know either. Whatever.
I hear you.
But he played a long time ago, right? Started in Boston, traded to the Yankees for like cheap, and then ended up being one of arguably the greatest players of all time. Career stats, some big ones. 2,873 hits in his career, 714 home runs in his career, which is third all time in the MLB. Batted 342 as an average. Now, when you look at all of those stats, you look and say like, wow, he really did a lot. Now, obviously the game
have been broken. And,
well, sure, records have been broken. I mean, that's kind of what they're there for. But in his time, this man, 1 year, Barry Bonds is 2 on the list of home runs, I think, behind Hank Aaron. I think.
It's so hard because even looking up, it's like Willie Mays, Barry Bonds, Lou Gehrig, like Cy Young. It's like
Barry Bonds is first, and then it's Hank Aaron, and then it's Babe Ruth. But yeah, no, like the thing about baseball is that baseball, I think, I don't want to say it's the oldest sport in the U.S., but I think it's one of the oldest. Like, it's been played for so long, and there have been so many great players. And like, you have 9 people in the field at a time, and so like every position you're going to have a battle for really goats at the position too. So do you value offense over defense? Do you value defense over offense? Or like what makes it the best? Is it the fact that they can hit? Is it the fact that they can field? Is it the fact that they can do both? So it makes it really tough when you compare the numbers, and then you get into baseball and the whole cheating scandal with the steroids. And so did the steroids affecting things? Like, do you take somebody down a notch because of that? Like, A-Rod is 4th on the list, but A-Rod was caught, I think, twice in his career actually using steroids. So like, do you take away those home runs? Do you say, oh, well, that doesn't count for him, he can't be one of the greatest because of that? Or do you give him the credit for still being able to do what he did? But so Babe Ruth clearly is one of the greatest players of all time. I don't think anybody will ever debate you on that. And actually, my answer might surprise you. I was also going to say Babe Ruth. You can see we didn't talk about this at all. My pick is also Babe Ruth. One, because he's a Yankee, and well, the Yankees are superior to the Red Sox, which everybody already knows. But I just think that in his time, he was clearly the best. I mean, there was a season, I think, I don't remember what year it was. Of course, this was a long time ago. But there was a season where Babe Ruth hit 54 home runs in one season. And that was the first time that's ever been done. The previous record was like 20 home runs in a season or something. Yeah. And he hit 54 in a season.
I just saw something.
Wait, well, hold on. Wait, let me finish the story. So he hit 54. No. Shut up. No, that's fine. It's fine. So he hit 54 home runs in a season. Nobody else in the MLB that year had more than 20. So this man was just superior to everything, to everyone. I mean, he was just the best. But for the sake of argument, before you tell your story, I'm going to allow myself to – well, whatever it was. I'm going to allow myself to get out of the scope of thinking about Babe Ruth, and I'm going to go a different direction. You went with an offensive player. I'm still going to pick – I guess it's technically an offensive player. Not that you really have offense and defense necessarily because they play both. But my pick for the MLB's greatest of all time is none other than Mariano Rivera.
That's a fair pick.
Number one, I got to make this smaller.
I mean,
I can't.
He was the Yankees, but like.
What? Could you imagine saying something so stupid, Cheney? Mariano Rivera, the greatest closer of all time by a long shot. I remember the year that he broke the record for most saves in the season, or most career saves. Widely known as the greatest closer of all time. I think that you will have a hard time debating that. I mean, you really could bring maybe some other players into the consideration, but really when you look at sheer dominance, I mean, and the crazy thing that made Mariano Rivera so good is he really only had like 2 pitches. And you knew it's like Aroldis Chapman. Like Aroldis Chapman got like 3 pitches, but you know his fastball clocks at like a 103 on average. So he's got 3 pitches, but like you can't hit a 103 mile per hour fastball. You know what I'm saying? So like Mariano really had like a fastball. He had like a 2-seamer, and he had a cutter. But everybody knew his put-away pitch, and the thing he was going to destroy you with was the cutter. The problem was you just couldn't stop it. Like you knew it was coming, and you still couldn't do anything with it. And I think that is part of what makes Mariano one of the greatest ever. And now here's where you also get into to this argument. It's a great thing that the Yankees made him a closer. Because Mariano started his career as a starting pitcher.
I don't think he would have done as well being a starter.
No, he was awful. He started a couple games and got destroyed in a couple games, and he was bad. He started pretty young too, but he was just bad as a starting pitcher. So then he was the closer, and is now the greatest closer in the game. And now I think like when you talk about Babe Ruth, clearly his statistics are top notch, above pretty much anyone else. I think that it would be hard to say that there are people who hit more home runs than him. There are people who might not have more hits than him, but people that are up there, right? So you can compare players when it comes to Babe Ruth versus like Mike Trout. I think in a couple of years, by the end of his career, I think Mike Trout could be better than Babe Ruth. Mike Trout is always consistent. He is one of the greatest. I mean, he literally already in his young career is already one of the greatest, most consistent players you've ever seen in MLB history. And so I think that like Babe Ruth's statistics can be beaten. I think that they can be reached. I don't think that we're ever going to see another Mariano Rivera. I don't think you're going to see such sheer dominance from any one pitcher because – are you speaking? Because I didn't hear you.
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay. I don't think that you're going to find another pitcher who was just as dominant, especially with how offensive-minded the game has become. Like, everyone is hitting. You know what I mean? So, like, everyone is hitting. Everyone is doing crazy things on the offense that even the greatest stars of the MLB, like, that we can think of, the top pitchers are getting roughed up a little bit because the offense has just been – I mean, like, look at, like, Felix Hernandez. Felix Hernandez was dominant for so long. In the last 3, 4, 5 years of his career, now granted he was playing for Seattle, who has not ever been good since like Ken Griffey Jr. days. He really didn't have an offense behind him to give him runs, but at the same point, like whether it was age or the league just catching up with him, his dominance ended rather quickly simply because it's just the way that life worked out. You know what I mean? Like it was hard to keep up his level of dominance over an extended period of time because of all the advancements and things that were happening in the MLB. But I don't think you will ever see another player as dominant as Mariano Rivera was.
Okay.
So now comes the hard part. Now we have to decide.
Well, I didn't even get to say what I said. What I was gonna say.
Go ahead. My fault.
Anyways,
I'm sorry, bro.
so I just watched the movie earlier. It's called Vampires versus the Bronx. It's a new Netflix original. It's pretty cool, not gonna lie. It's like these 3 kids, and they're like one was African American, one was Dominican, and one was Puerto Rican. It was pretty cool. Especially like not all white characters and whatnot. But I thought of Roger Clemens because I knew that he was a really good baseball player at one point. But I knew that there was another one that kind of sounded the same. I don't remember which one it was, but now I do because it was also in the movie. It was Roberto Clemente.
Oh, Roberto Clemente, of course.
Yes. And I was like him also. He was the first Latin American and Caribbean American. Is that what they're called? Caribbean Americans?
Could be if he was American, yeah.
Just a Caribbean player. Inducted into the Hall of Fame. That's an honorable mention.
An honorable mention.
I said that, but you know.
No, I was just helping you out. You're good.
But I said it. And another honorable mention, Jackie Robinson.
Of course, you got to give respect to the first Black player in the integrated MLB. I think that those players are the greatest of their cultures, especially because they allowed what they did allowed for there to be so many. Like, we wouldn't have a Mariano Rivera, we wouldn't have a David Ortiz. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for people like Jackie Robinson, people like Roberto Clemente, being able to play and integrating the MLB, we wouldn't have so many of the greatest players that we have nowadays. So it's really hard when you look at it that way. Like, that's what makes it so hard too, because like, not only was Jackie Robinson the first Black player in the MLB, but he was also great. So like, he was a great baseball player. So now, do you elevate him above, some of the others because of of the cultural impact that he had on the game, or do you strictly look at the statistics? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's hard. So I appreciate it for an honorable mention. I'm grateful for everything that they did, because I know like it's not easy. You know what I mean? Like, it couldn't have been. Even watching the movie 42, starring Chadwick Boseman, R.I.P. R.I.P. Wakanda forever. Just watching that movie. It's a funny story. Not to make light of anything, but my family, the night we went to go see 42 at the Campus Theater in Lewisburg. When it's just come out, I think we had gone to see it in Lewisburg. And I remember being so emotional watching the movie because, of course, baseball is my favorite sport. So, like, it's just like being there and being and watching. Now, obviously, this stuff wasn't happening to Chadwick. It was just in the movie. But this is the kind of stuff that Jackie Robinson actually had to go through. So it was hard watching the movie. But then so we went out to a restaurant. I'm not going to, because I enjoyed the restaurant. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to put them on blast. We went to a restaurant in Lewisburg.
Applebee's.
This was years ago, huh?
It says probably Applebee's. That's all you go.
I'm not gonna say what it is. I'm not gonna say yes or no. But we went to Applebee's. My family. It was just the 4 of us.
Oh, so you're not gonna say? Oh, that's all right.
What did I just say? I just said the answer, didn't I?
Yes.
Oh, well, we went to this restaurant. I should just cut that out, but it's fine. I'm gonna leave it in. Went to this restaurant. This was years ago, so like maybe they just got better over the years. We got seated pretty quickly. We didn't see our waitress for like 10 minutes after we got sat down, and it was not busy in the restaurant at all. And we were all sitting there like, are we tripping because we just watched this movie and we're upset at white people? or are we getting ignored because we sitting up in here and we're Black? And we're like,
it's like
like everybody just look. You know what? We'll just give him a break. We'll give him a break. But yes, but that's the kind of stuff, man. Like how do you decide who is the GOAT? Do you only look at stats? Do you look at the cultural impact? Do you look at, were they good at philanthropy? Did they do stuff for the community? Like, did they do stuff outside of the sport? Which I think is definitely probably more of the attention of people nowadays. Looking at their communal, I don't know what the word would be, but like the impact on the community. You know what I'm saying?
When it comes to basketball, I have a lot to say about that one.
I'm sure you do. But yeah, so now we got to decide, Cheney, between Mariano Rivera and Babe Ruth, who is the greatest player of all time in MLB history. I as my initial pick was going to be Babe Ruth, I am partial to saying Babe Ruth, because I was going to agree with you and say that. But the more that I think about the dominance of Mariano Rivera and what he's done over his career, and the fact that there will probably never be another closer who does what he was able to do, I think I have to give it to Mariano. I think I have to. If you can convince me of otherwise, I mean, it's going to be hard because, of course, we're going to say that the pick that we say is the best. But we got to figure it out. We got to decide.
I'm very salty when it comes to Mariano, but he was a deadly pitcher. He was a deadly closer.
Man, just dominant. Sheer
That's
dominance.
Probably why I'm so like I'm thinking, Mariano. Okay. So your pick is Mariano. My pick.
That's hard, man. That's hard.
It's stuff like I guess you can put in stats into account, but like at the same time, we're gonna in the NBA. That one's gonna.
I already know who my pick is. It's not. We can argue. I'll argue this till the day I die, bro. NBA, I'll argue till the day I die. But
I can't wait till we get to it because I'm a flame your dumbass. Anyways, for the sake of it, like Babe Ruth was also around. It's like just basketball. Like Will Chamberlain was like destroying them back then, but it's like that league wasn't like that crazy.
But the game wasn't the same, right? Absolutely.
So it's like that could be the same thing with Babe Ruth. They're throwing like 70 miles per hour balls or 80.
Right.
And
exactly.
He could be So although Babe Ruth is a fantastic player, it was probably one of the greatest of all time. I'll just give it to Mariano in this one.
Mariano Rivera, moving on. I like that answer. Good answer, Gene. I like the way you think. I do just think. I just really think. David Ortiz. No. All right. Do you want to start with NBA or do you want me to start?
You can go ahead and start since I started the first one.
There's no argument needed, Cheney. This is a wrap. All right. I just need you to understand that this is a conversation that I'm tired of having with people. I feel very strongly about this position. The greatest player in the NBA history is none other than number 23, number 6, number 23, LeBron James. LeBron James has meant more to every basketball team he has ever played on in the history of the – like every time he's played on a team, they've gotten better. He makes everyone around him better. He's a fantastic player on his own. He's up there in the top 10 on pretty much every major statistical category, if not top 5. And he's still playing like people really can't stop him. Like he is he's 37 years old now? And he's been playing since he was 18 in the NBA. Like this man has really been playing for almost 20 years at the top of his game. Even like the man has never in his career had a significant injury other than last season when he had his groin injury. He has never missed significant time and has played most minutes in most games without getting sat. Like I'm not saying he's played the most games in the most minutes, but he's definitely got to be up there in most minutes logged and the most games played. And he's still at his highest level. Huh?
I said they need him to play that many minutes. They cannot play without him.
They can't play with none of his teams. Even like in the Big Three when he played in Miami, he was still, D Wade was still a great player, probably 10 or top 15 maybe in the league at that time. but he was not the dominant Dwayne Wade from when he won the championship with Shaq in 2007. You know, or like that was 2006. He wasn't the same player. Chris Bosh was a good player in Toronto, but it's not like he was the best power forward in the league. You know what I mean? So he was still the best player on every team he's ever played. And I think that without I think it's so obvious that he's made every other team better. And if you look at the stats of when he left, like when he left Cleveland the first time, their record immediately sank. When you look at when he left Miami, they immediately sank. When you look at them last year, they were second in the Western Conference, or maybe first in the Western Conference last season. He goes down for the season, they don't make the playoffs. He's back this season, they make the playoffs. Like, yes, they have the finals, right? Yes, they have Anthony Davis also. But without LeBron James, I've heard this said before, and I'll repeat it. Without LeBron James, if Anthony Davis was the only player, like if he was the superstar on the Lakers, they'd just be the Pelicans. It'd be the same exact team from when Anthony Davis was on the Pelicans. You could compare the two teams, and you'd probably have just about the same team. So it's clearly LeBron that is carrying everything on that team. So I will argue it to the day that I die. He's my favorite player. I have followed him his entire career. I don't care. I'm not afraid to say it. I'm a bandwagon LeBron James fan. Wherever he goes, I'll follow. It's so bad, Cheney. When he was leaving Cleveland, when everybody knew he was leaving Cleveland last year, I was like, listen, LeBron's my boy. I follow him wherever. But you know what? I'm not ever going to follow him to the Lakers. I just can't do it. I cannot follow him to the Lakers because it's L.A. Everyone goes to L.A. Like it's the house of Kobe, it's the house of Magic, it's the house of you know what I'm saying? Like everyone is in L.A. He can't go there. He signed to the Lakers. He signed to the Lakers, and I was like, Lakers! Whoa, let's go, LeBron! Like it was so bad. I was so determined to not be a Lakers fan until LeBron James signed with the Lakers, and then I was all about it.
My dad has been a Lakers fan for as long as I can remember, and he years before he even decided to come to the Lakers, he was like, "I'm a Lakers fan forever." But if it ever happens that LeBron goes to the Lakers, I'm not a Lakers fan no more. He went to the Lakers years after. Still a Lakers fan.
Still a Lakers fan.
Still a Lakers fan.
I don't know what it is. He is just the most dominant player ever, in my opinion. I mean, it's just. Go ahead. I'm done.
Shut the hell up. You talk too much.
Hey, yo, chill out. Before I come to the screen and beat you up. Matter of fact, how do I kick you out of here? Go ahead, Cheney.
Don't my damn self. All right, I will see you later. Before I liked Miami when he was there. Before he went to Miami, it was like LeBron James, but he wasn't like that big to me. Now I can do. If you look at stats, if you look at just anything overall, well, if you look at charity work that he's done, yes, but
he's done
makes him a great person.
He's done everything.
Doesn't mean just because he's done so many things outside of the basketball world. But anyways.
You're going to say something so stupid for your answer, and it's going to make me so mad, but just go ahead. Please continue.
So
I can already tell I'm going to be upset.
No, you're not going to be upset. You're going to actually respect it very much. LeBron is statistically everything, probably the greatest, one of the greatest players of all time. And even with my pick, he probably will be the greatest player. But with my pick, I'm going to go.
I'm ready to be upset already.
None other than Iguodala. No, I'm kidding. Let's just go with No, take that shit off.
Imagine. That's funny.
I'm going to go with. Okay.
We don't have all day. That's all I'm saying. We do have other things.
I just don't want to go into
we have other sports to get to. So.
I want people to understand that this pick
This is gonna be so stupid.
I'm not going Michael Jordan because Michael Jordan. A lot of people say that he fought hard against the
I
people
don't
that he played.
I don't think so. I don't think he played anybody.
I don't think so.
I don't think he played
I don't
anybody.
think either. Like John Stockton and stuff like that. But like around that time, he was probably old already, wasn't he? So around
He genuinely did not play many players in their prime. In fact, when he was about to play somebody in their prime, who probably would have beat him, he retired. And then he came back. This man retired twice, bro.
He went to baseball, and
Then he went to baseball, wasn't that good at baseball, but came back just in time for them to have still a great team and for some other GOATs to be, on the decline. And then managed to come back and win 3 more and then retire again and then come back to the Wizards and then retire again. Like this, I don't.
So that's why I'm not picking.
I don't think Michael Jordan is the greatest player of all time. So I'm with you, and we will get slack for that. We're gonna catch flack for that,
and that's fine.
I know old heads love to say
it's like, oh, it's Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan changed the game, and yes, he did change the game. I don't think that Michael Jordan would have been Michael Jordan without Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman.
No.
Steve Kerr, he needed them. Unlike LeBron, who has shown in his career that he's able to take a team to the finals by himself.
Mm-hmm.
He carried the 2007 Cleveland Cavaliers to the championship against the Spurs and got swept by being the only player on that team. Mm-hmm. The other players on that team were not. The best player was Zydrunas Ilgauskas, who was only good in Cleveland. Anderson Varejao, I think still was playing at that time.
Yeah, I did see a picture where it was like comparing LeBron and Michael Jordan's teammates, and it only showed like he had like Dennis Rodman and Scottie Pippen and like Steve Kerr, but he didn't have that many. And then LeBron had like Kyrie, Kevin Love when he was good.
Yes, but here's the thing: Dennis Rodman was at the time. Dennis Rodman, when he played with Michael Jordan, probably a top 5 power forward in the NBA, maybe top 3 power forward in the NBA at the time. Couldn't do much on offense, but his defense and his rebounding were disgusting. So, top of the NBA. Scottie Pippen, one of the best defenders in NBA history. LeBron didn't have that. Kyrie is a great player. Kyrie will never be known as the best point guard of all time. He won't even be in the conversation as top 5 point guards of all time. Guaranteed. By the time that does over, I bet you there's people that will end their career higher than Kyrie Irving, even in the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Love deteriorated as soon as he got to Cleveland. He wasn't the greatest, and he wasn't as good as he once was. Every star that LeBron has played with has been after their prime. He's never played, other than Kyrie, never played with another star in their prime. I can't say the same for Michael Jordan.
No.
He played with 2 of the best players in basketball history. So I just cannot say
he was in their prime.
And now LeBron has Anthony Davis with LeBron now, but still this is 20 years almost in for LeBron. So
apparently the Lakers are playing with the Celtics, Rondo, Miami Heat, LeBron James, and freaking prime
everyone
AD
from history. Yes, that is correct.
But my pick is going to be none other than Kobe beating Bryant.
I respect the heck out of that pick. I think you're wrong, but I respect it. And that's big for you coming from a Celtics fan too. For you to say Kobe, that's huge.
It's huge, but oh my God, a lot of the time that I was in, I'm still to this day I'm a Celtics fan, but a lot of the time when I was watching him play against my Celtics, the good ass Celtics that they were, get beat by Kobe, beat Kobe, and then get beat by Kobe again.
Mm-hmm.
It's and then I grew up. I was like, oh, Kobe, F the Lakers, obviously they're rivals and whatnot. And then you grow up, and then you go to the last season that he played and the last game he played, and then him retiring. It's just you look back and Kobe was you gotta respect the hell out of the Kobe. He might not have been the best player ever over anybody, but that's probably one of top 3 for sure. To
I
me,
agree with you.
is the greatest.
I agree.
Obviously,
I think in order of greatest in the NBA, I think you put LeBron first. I think you put
mhm,
Kobe second. Um, Michael Jordan, would probably put at third, just because I think you have to. You know
yeah,
what I mean? And then after
yeah.
that, you can fight it out for 4 and 5, and you can fill out. You could say Wilt Chamberlain, you could say a Larry Bird, you could say a Magic Johnson, you could say so many, like a Shaq. Like Shaq's one of my favorite players ever, who did help Kobe win the championship. So I can't, but that's one.
So
Um,
let's save time here, and we're agreeing that LeBron is the greatest of all time. He
Agreed.
he has carried teams by himself to get. He might only have 3 championships, but he is getting 2 playoffs with nobody on his side,
Right.
and that's enough.
He's a one man wrecking crew, and he, I don't think Kobe has always had great players. You know what I mean? Well, not always, but he's in the years that he won championships. Mostly, he had other really solid, but Andrew Bynum in his prime, Shaq in his prime, uh, 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 Ron Artest before he went completely crazy. Um, some other
And
players that
change
he's
his
played
name
with,
to Middle World Peace.
Meta
Like
World Peace. So I will agree with you. Clearly, LeBron James is the better overall player.
overall, yeah.
But I would agree with you. Kobe Bryant is easily number 2. But and here's the thing: what's crazy, you can see, and people a lot of times, like right before, I'll promise to make it quick. Like a lot of people will compare like LeBron to Kobe or LeBron to MJ, and you really can't compare them because their games are so much different. But like Kobe is a carbon copy of Michael Jordan.
Yes.
Like
So it's
they are
like
the same player basically, with very minute differences. I think you can compare them. I don't think you can compare the games of LeBron because LeBron is bigger, stronger, better than anyone else at his position, and it is what it is.
it's a good way also to. I hate comparing them because it's like don't compare. Realize
Right.
what greatness they all were.
Appreciate them for
Yeah.
exactly.
Um. But I saw something. You know how there was like the Jordan and like Kobe
Yeah.
next to each other, and like you can see that they did the same thing because
Yeah,
obviously you
yeah.
grow up
The
watching.
side
So
by
there's
side,
like
right? Exactly. He emulated
yeah,
his game, almost perfected.
there was a side by side of Kobe and Jason Tatum, and it just shows how much Kobe was a big impact. You're gonna stop
He
that.
was huge. He was
A
huge.
big
No,
impact. Like people like look up to him obviously, and like Jason Tatum was obviously pulling things, and that's why he's not a
here it
star yet,
is.
but
Here it is. You ready? Here's why LeBron is the best of all time. And this is quite simple. Michael Jordan, commonly known as the greatest of all time, emulated almost perfectly by Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant, nearly identical game. Kobe,
nobody.
Kobe, just like you said, Jason Tatum, there are so many players who wanted to be like Kobe, maybe not like MJ, but like Kobe, who was just as close to MJ as you could have been, and
To
they
this
can
day,
play and do things just like Kobe.
keep in mind
We
to this
have not
day,
seen to this day a
but
player who can play like LeBron.
that's very true.
Nobody can do
That's
the
very
things
true.
that LeBron does on the court,
That is very true.
and that's
I
what
can
puts
agree
him
with
ahead
that.
of everyone.
I agree with
But
that
but
because
that's a
it's
great
yeah.
comparison. I mean, what you said is correct. Like Kobe has such a cultural impact in just the game of basketball. Like people have tried to be LeBron, but they can't do what LeBron can
No,
do.
but no.
And Kobe was different because he could do things that nobody else could do. But in the core aspects of their game, he can be copied. He can be mimicked. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So it's kind of where I'm at. So
Yeah,
we're agreeing LeBron
he
James?
can be he can be mimicked, but like they
Right.
will never be able to do what he did
Right.
at the same time, and nobody will ever be able to do what LeBron did.
Right.
We'll
Agreed.
agree with that. And to this day, remember, you shoot something in the trash can, it's still gonna be Kobe forever.
That it is Kobe forever and ever and ever. R.I.P. That's a dang.
Happy.
We had to say R.I.P. 2 times in this episode, bro.
That's
tragic.
tragic.
That's tragic. All right, so now we got to finish this debate: Mariano Rivera versus LeBron James. This is a tough one for me. These are both my picks. I
That's so
think Mariano.
disrespectful.
I just know how to pick him. I guess. I think Mariano, greatest player, greatest closer of all time, one of the greatest pitchers of all time. One of the first. Was he the first unanimous pick in the Baseball Hall of Fame? I think he was. I think Mariano was the first ever unanimous pick in the Hall of Fame. I think LeBron James will also be a unanimous pick. I don't think anybody would be that stupid to say he wasn't. But I think I have to give this one to LeBron only because he has more individual impact on the game, because Mariano came in maybe the bottom of the eighth, maybe to get out of a jam, and then in the ninth inning. But the offense had to have done something prior to the ninth inning for Mariano to be effective. LeBron, from start to finish in the game, had the biggest impact, I think, over what the game was and is.
Mhm.
So I think I got to give it to LeBron.
I'm not gonna argue with that one. I'm just gonna give it to LeBron. He did
So
his
that
thing.
gives
Mariano
us
did what he could at closing, but LeBron was,
LeBron. It's just they're just playing a different game.
Yep.
All right. Now we move on to the NFL versus the NHL. Let's do the easy one right off the bat. We're going to go to NHL really quickly because I know that this is going to be a quick debate. I don't know
Yeah,
jack about the NHL.
I
My pick is
like a
going to
couple
be
years ago started watching, so
my pick is going to be the only player that I know in the NHL. I don't know anything about him. I just know his name, and I've heard that he's one of the greatest of all time. So I can't really say much because I don't care about hockey. So Wayne Gretzky is my pick for the NHL. Your pick would be?
for greatest of all time, I do know a couple that are like one of the greatest, and I can say like Gordy and Bobby Orr and like Sidney Crosby is pretty
These names,
good.
I know that name, but these names, you're
But
just
yeah,
saying words to me
so
right now.
I'll make my pick, Wayne Gretzky too. Just make him on the list because he's just an overall known best NHL player. So
I don't even know. Did I spell his name right? It's a stupid way to spell somebody's name.
maybe if they're not from here, you know.
Yeah, it's still stupid. He should fix it. He should have changed his name.
Well, there's no S, but it's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
There's no S.
No, yep.
I'll fix that. Go ahead and make your pick for the NFL. I think I already know where you're going. We're gonna debate it. I think you're probably right. I might even have to give that one to you. But just go ahead and make your pick for the NFL. I already know who you're gonna say, so I might as well just get it over with.
The GOAT, Thomas Brady.
Wait, hold up. Should I write Thomas Brady?
No, Tom Brady.
Should I put Wayne Gretzky as my pick or your pick? Which one?
Be mine because you already got all the
So-
greens. Yeah.
You don't have any yet. That's funny. All right, Tom Brady. Go ahead. Talk about your man, Tom Brady. I knew that's where you're going to go. I mean, you can't.
Yeah.
There's not much to argue there.
When we were discussing this, we were actually playing Madden and we were looking at the stats of like greatest, like the top most passing touchdowns, passing yards, and he wasn't a big rusher, so that's okay. He doesn't need any rushing yards. But anyways, although he wasn't exactly one in all of them, I think he might have been in like one. But like I think he had like Peyton Manning like ahead of him, and like he had Drew Brees ahead of him. Like also fantastic players. But I just not just because I'm a Patriots fan, but I think Tom Brady did an overall fantastic job at his position. Yeah.
Keep talking. I'll be right back.
I'm just thinking. Let's see. He was just a great overall player, to me at least. He's just doing all that for my team. Don't let me get me started about the fact that he went 199th overall in the pick behind I wish I remembered his name.
He was Mr. Irrelevant.
Huh?
He was Mr. Irrelevant. Is that what the name is? Is that what they call the player that gets drafted like 199?
Oh yeah,
He wasn't last, but he was like
second to last.
mad. Yeah.
But who's
No, but I agree with you in the terms of Tom Brady's greatness. Clearly, you can't really deny how great he's
Drew
been.
Bledsoe? That's what it was. Thank God he got hurt. Oh, not thank God that he got hurt. But he got
Imagine what
hurt.
would happen if Drew Bledsoe never got injured.
Honestly, I can't even think of anything right now because
Like
this
with
man,
Tom Brady, he probably wouldn't have got the ability to. And the question here's, you know what, Cheney? Now here's the thing.
So listen. Before you go any further, like if he wouldn't have gotten the chance, I don't think he would have grown as he did now because he also had Bill Belichick. Maybe in practice and stuff, and eventually could have grown into it, but not as Tom Brady that he is
Right,
today.
right,
Because without maybe he would have been traded just because he was like he's just the
right,
backup of Drew Bledsoe. Like if he got traded, he wouldn't have had Bill Belichick.
right.
Bill Belichick is a freaking mastermind. So if he didn't have Bill Belichick, he wouldn't have been Tom Brady.
What I see here, and then that's where I kind of want to pick up and want to talk about, because at this point in his career, he's done just about everything there is to do. Yes, people have thrown for more yards than him. I think he's actually third on the passing yards list because Drew Brees is first. I think Tom Brady is third. I think Peyton Manning is second.
I believe so.
So he holds accolades, that no one can compare. 6 rings. He's done it. He's done it all.
Mm-hmm.
But at this point in his career, he has more weapons right now on the Buccaneers than he's ever had in his career. But he's not having the same. No, not at one time. At one time, yes, he's had Randy Moss. Yes, he's had.
Yeah, but I'm thinking like at the Buccaneers, like Evans and
Mike
Gronkowski's back, but he's like
Evans is a beast. Chris Goodwin is still good. Like they've got they had a decent wide receiving core last year. But then Mike Evans is not one of the best anymore. He was pretty dominant a couple years ago, but he has decent weapons, very decent weapons at a wide receiver. He's got a couple good running backs down there. He's got Gronk back, even though he hasn't done much. But
he's been in the Patriots for years, and that means receivers have came and went, like come and go. Like Amendola was there, then left. Like Edelman's been there forever, but he had Randy Moss left.
What makes him so special, Tom Brady, in my opinion, is that he's one of the few people that can do nothing or do something with nothing. Like there were many years where their offense maybe not have ranked in terms of the players. Like there was jokes that Bill Belichick could find like a guy working at a grocery store putting carts away at the Porsche and sign him, and he would be a Pro Bowler. Like he managed to always find someone to put on the field with Brady, and Brady would do the most with the least. So I would agree with you that Tom Brady is probably he's definitely the best quarterback of all time. I will agree with that. He's definitely probably had the most individual impact on the game of all time. I don't think that you can deny that, just because the only thing that he cannot do, or the only thing that he could not do, and he still can't now, is run. The only thing he didn't have is mobility. Other than that, in terms of pure pocket passing, and it always used to make me so mad. It always felt like Brady had 8 years in the pocket. Like he always had great offensive lines, so he could just sit and he didn't have to run. All he had to do was just stand and deliver.
And the way that he had time, but even if he saw somebody rushing or something, he could get out of it or enough time to throw the ball quickly. Like his release was just the quickest it could be, and he could find somebody just like.
And so what the question has always been is it Brady or is it Belichick?
It's Belichick.
And I think right now is showing a little bit more. I don't know. I thought that this year would be able to define whether it was Brady or Belichick, because everyone felt like they were signing with the Bucs. Like everyone was going to the Bucs. But then his first game, he did not play well. And even we're 3 games in, and I just cut him from my fantasy team. He's not playing well statistically to the point where I want to say that he's balling out. And now Cam Newton is a great quarterback. I love Cam Newton, even though he went to Auburn, which we'll just ignore that. I love Cam Newton as a quarterback, and he's playing well with Belichick.
So
Enough that I think, will they win anything? No. Could they make the playoffs? They could absolutely win the division. They could make the playoffs, and they could probably even win a game in the playoffs because Cam Newton has that much talent. Bill Belichick is that good of a coach that I think that combination could do well together. So that is the question. Belichick or Brady, I think the edge goes to Belichick, but I wonder if Brady never would have stayed, like had Bledsoe never gotten injured and he stayed the quarterback in New England, if Brady would have gotten the chance to shine somewhere else, would he have gone to maybe like the Saints? What if he was under Sean Payton like Drew Brady was? Or what if Drew Brees was? What if he would have gone and played in Pittsburgh instead of Roethlisberger? Like, what if he had a great coach like Mike Tomlin? Like, there are so many great coaches over the years that I wonder in his prime, because clearly Tom Brady is past his prime, in his prime, who would have been, like, could he still have been Tom Brady without Belichick somewhere else?
I don't think he would have been. I don't think so
either.
I think because Bill Belichick is such this man is just a mastermind. Like, he knows what he's doing. I don't think he would have been that person. But that said, Bill Belichick made Tom Brady into what he is. Right?
No, I agree.
So regardless, he made Tom Brady into what he is. So while Brady was on his prime, he did have a great coach. It was still Tom Brady. You know what I mean? Like, he made him into that, and now Tom Brady is this because of him. But it's not Belichick who continuously every year is making Brady good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, will he get better in the Buccaneers, or will he do good at all? That's very rough.
I mean, Bruce Arians is a good coach, but I don't think
it's a good coach,
I think he's done. I think he's done all he can at this point. I don't think he has anything to prove either.
No, he got 6 rings, the most rings anybody's ever gotten right now, and the team in general.
Right.
Well, no, he's tied with the Steelers, but he's past his prime. He's getting old. If he's not doing good, it's not expected, but he's still gonna do what Tom Brady does.
Right. I agree with you. So I want to give you that one for Tom Brady. That's an easy one. I'm just going to throw another. I probably would say that Tom Brady is the greatest of all time. I think you're going to win this conversation. Trying to look at it subjectively, or objectively. It just, his stats are crazy. Although I'm going to throw out a name, and this might sway you. I know Tom Brady's your boy. You're a Boston fan. Well, in this case, it'd be New England fan. But I'm going to throw out the best wide receiver of all time's name and just have the conversation. Jerry Rice holds the most receiving yards in NFL history, the most touchdowns receiving in NFL history. And so most of his career, he had Steve Young, I think, was the quarterback in San Fran for most of that. He did play in Oakland later in his career. But I think that the amount of production that he had is similar to that of Brady. If you compare the two, actually, I'll compare the stats right now. I think that would be an interesting comparison. Jerry Rice, I think I have his stats up. Jerry Rice, I got rid of it. Let me see. Jerry Rice career stats. And I want to look at Tom Brady.
You can pull up stats. I mean, you can pull up Jerry, and I'll pull up Tom Brady, and then we can. All right. And I have to look at both of them.
All right, I got Jerry Rice right here. So how many games has Brady played in his career?
All right, give me a sec. 288.
Jerry Rice played in 303. So he's played in more games. So this is really a comparison between two of the greatest players in offensive history. And I think this is one of the only cases where you can really compare stats. Just sheer production on the offense. How much of a difference did they have on the offense? So how many passing yards does Tom Brady have in his career?
75,000.
75,000? That's so many. And he's third on the list.
No, and isn't that in the yards? Drew Brees like 2,000 ahead of him, isn't he?
Yeah, it's like 2,000.
Yeah, that's still freaking a lot.
It's insane. It's a lot. Jerry
And
Rice
also,
has 22,000. So if you look at Jerry Rice compared to everyone else, he is 5,000 more receiving yards than any other receiver in the NFL history. Brady has thrown what? You said 2,000. I think it is 2,000. I think that was the number. 2,000 less. So he's third on the list of passing yards all time. Jerry Rice is far, far, far above anyone else in the top. How many touchdowns did he throw for?
he threw for 547.
Holy crap. And Jerry Rice has scored 197 on his own.
As a wide receiver.
As a wide receiver, which is crazy.
Is crazy.
Which is crazy. I don't know. Maybe these stats aren't as comparable as I thought they were, but this is tough, man. This is really, 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 really tough.
Apparently, Tom Brady's full name is Thomas Edward Patrick Brady.
Well, he got too many names.
It is Thomas.
I have 4 names, but that's just a little bit too much. All right, let's get into some of the crazier stats.
You do gotta realize that he doesn't have as many games played because when he was in the NFL, he didn't play that many.
It's only like 15 games though, 303 to 280 something. It's only like 20 games. Sure. It's only 1.5 seasons now.
Yeah.
How many Pro Bowls does Tom Brady have?
14.
Jerry Rice has 13. That's crazy.
Cool.
What else is there to talk about?
He has 3 All-Pros.
3? I gotta look that up. Hold on. This is hard, bro. This is tough. And most lists, if you look up lists, most people put Jerry Rice above Tom Brady. But again, this is just our discussion, so it is what it is. Let's see. He was inducted in the Hall of Fame. He's a 3-time Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl MVP, Finals MVP, 13 Pro Bowls. He leads the league in all-purpose touchdowns, receiving yards. He's the only player in NFL history with more than 20,000 receiving yards, most receptions, most all-purpose yards, most touchdowns. Leads the NFL in consecutive games with at least 1 reception. He holds 36 NFL records.
36 NFL records?
Tom Brady, 6 Super Bowls, 4 Super Bowl MVPs, 3-time NFL MVP, 3-time first all-team pro, 2-time second-team all-team pro, 2 times NFL Player of the Year, NFL Comeback Player of the Year, NFL record for most Super Bowl wins as a player, multiple Super Bowl records, including most touchdown passes in the Super Bowl, passing yards, completed passes, pass attempts, most consecutive competitions in a single Super Bowl. Completions. Holds NFL record for most games won by a QB. Only quarterback to have 3 consecutive games with 300 passing yards, 3+ touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. Tied for the most Pro Bowl selections. He holds the NFL record for most postseason games played, most postseason touchdown passes, and he's the oldest quarterback to win a Super Bowl. So when you look at it like that, it sounds like Tom Brady has way more achievements than Jerry Rice. Probably because they do more now, you know what I mean? Like they give more accolades out now than they used to. I don't know. This one for me is the flip of the coin, honestly. But I'm willing to concede and say
This man's
Tom
still
Brady.
going. Yeah.
I can say Tom Brady.
So he can get a couple more yards, a couple more touchdowns. And
he won't get that many, but
not
you're
that
right.
many,
He could.
But in the season, how many 1,000 yards can you still get passing? And you know what I mean?
And this is an easy one. I mean, we're not going to even sit here and act like Tom Brady. We're not going to put Tom Brady ahead of Wayne Gretzky. I mean, I think that would be really silly of us to even try and do that.
I'm sure NHL players have been like, "You're crazy," but
we can't even have the argument because neither one of us really know enough about hockey for it to matter. So it looks like your picks took the side, even though technically I said Wayne Gretzky first, so we could have been green there, but it doesn't matter. So now we get to pretty much what I expected. Actually, I kind of expected you to say Michael Jordan, and we were going to have that argument. But now we look and see who is the greatest of all time, LeBron James and Tom Brady, easily two of the most dominant players to have ever existed in the NFL. Easy, I mean, in their respective sports, sorry. NFL, of course, with Brady, and NBA with LeBron. Both still playing, but the difference for me is both are still playing, but only one of them is still playing at a high level.
And that's LeBron James.
And that's LeBron James.
I easily said, like, let me see.
They've both played for 1.5 million years. Like, Tom Brady's been playing for how long? What year did Tom Brady play in? What year did he get drafted?
Or 2000.
2000. So he's played for 20 years. 20 years. LeBron James. Yeah, 20 years. He got drafted in 2000. So he's been playing about 20 years. LeBron James got drafted in 2003. So he's been playing for 17 years. But in his 17th year, is that the year they won the Super Bowl? 2017?
Yeah.
Yeah,
because 28 or 18.
17. No, 2017 was against the Falcons.
17? Okay. There you go.
I mean, I guess you could still say that, after 17 years, if you look at it, I mean, LeBron won or lost more championships. LeBron has been to the finals more than Brady has, but Brady has won more. So Brady has only lost 2. Right, so he's been to 8 and only lost 2. Or no, he's lost 3.
3, yeah.
2 to the Giants and 1 to the Eagles. That hurts.
All 3 of those hurt.
3.
16-0, and then play the Giants and
David Tyree, man,
fucking catch.
That David Tyree.
That's my French.
I hate the Giants, but I like when they beat the Patriots. So, Tom Brady's been there 9 times and won 6 out of 9. LeBron, this is his 10th trip.
Hear me out.
And he's won 3. So clearly the winning percentage is not on LeBron's favor.
And hear me out. When Brady was 35, he was still cooking like Tom Brady would. Right now he's 43. 43.
8 years ago.
8 years ago. And that means we won like 2 Super Bowls in those 8 years. LeBron's 35 now. He's won 3 championships. But he's still doing what he does, though. That's the thing.
Now, he's gonna make me upset now. See, I was calm. Now, don't. Let's break it down.
I didn't say.
All right, let's break. No. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, but I gotta defend LeBron. This is do what I do.
But hear me out. Because LeBron is still doing what he does.
This is true. LeBron has lost a lot.
Yes, and I'm not shaming that. You know what I'm saying?
But the first one he lost was against the Spurs. He was by himself, clearly outmatched. Spurs, one of the greatest teams to ever play.
Yep.
Okay, so there's one. They never should have lost against the Mavericks when they were in Miami that first season. No reason to lose to Dallas. We'll give him that. That's like Brady losing to the Giants or to the Eagles. We'll give him that one. The next 2 he won. Then they played the Spurs. Well, actually, they won one. No, what was it? They won 2 in a row. Yeah, they won 2 in a row. beat the Spurs. Ray Allen, crazy shot to end that series. Then the next year, they played the Spurs again. Spurs, again, always been a great team. Kawhi Leonard really coming into his prime at that point. So, that was pretty even matchup. He took that L. We'll hold that L. Then he runs into the freaking Golden State Warriors.
That's fair. That's true.
Very and true. No team has ever been – Tom Brady has never played in the Super Bowl, the Golden State Warriors.
I mean, yes. Yes.
Has he?
Wrong. Let's look.
Let me look. I want to know. In his career, has he ever played the Golden State Warriors?
No.
In the Super Bowl?
Oh, I mean, for the games that we have lost, the 3 games that we lost 2 to the Giants, and Eli Manning was in his prime. So he was doing his thing. And then we lost to Nick Eagles, Foles, which we shouldn't have, because the thing was that he went to throw the ball and it was like a fumble or whatever, and he turned it over, which gave us the loss. But
yeah,
Brandon came back because it's still
Brandon Graham with the strip sack. Don't act like it was a mistake.
It was a mistake.
Brandon Graham came around the corner, ripped it out.
He should have.
We just were better. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right.
You lost. You won by just because we could have had that game. He had enough.
Move on.
Because it's Tom Brady.
Move on, my guy. Don't hang on
there. We still have 6, so it doesn't matter.
So let me look. So Tom Brady has won 6 Super Bowls, right? So he's beaten the Rams. He's beaten the Panthers.
The Rams were a good team.
He's beaten the Eagles.
Really good team.
They were. Who was the quarterback at that point? It wasn't Warner, was it?
It was because we played the Rams in the Super Bowl. Was that the Super Bowl when it was
36?
Oh yeah.
Oh, listen, I know that was the Super Bowl where there was the Spygate, right? Was that Spygate season when your boys were a little cheap? That's the thing about the Patriots, man. They have a history of cheating. That's all I'm saying.
They have a history of thinking that they're cheating, but we have no proof. The refs check the balls to make sure they're good. So how the hell could we have flattened balls without the refs knowing it? They literally feel it before they put it down.
All right, listen. So we got Kurt Warner and Marshall Faulk, Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt. Those players were all in the offense for the Rams. Great players. Their offense probably was definitely better than it looks like the Rams offense or than the Patriots offense was. But I still don't think the Rams of that year were the Warriors. Now, the Panthers, I don't even remember when the Panthers made the Super Bowl. That was Super Bowl 38. Then they beat the Eagles the first time when we didn't have Terrell Owens. It was a rough season there. Then the Giants won 2 times in a row when they played each other. They beat the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks would be the best comparison to the Warriors that the Patriots have ever played.
That defense
Seahawks were great, and Seahawks probably should have won that series. Let's be real. Let's be honest. They should have won that game.
They would have gave it to.
If they would have gave the ball to Marshawn Lynch, they would have won. And Malcolm Butler is trash after that. He got a big deal and then didn't do another thing for the rest of his career.
And things like that happen in the NBA too, in any other game.
It's true. Then they beat the Falcons. Again, I don't know what happened to the Falcons. The Falcons are falling apart again. The Falcons have given up already in the season, and this is week 4. They've given up 2 fourth-quarter leads of 16 or more points. Falcons are trash.
Yes.
Dan Quinn's getting fired. It's
2 games in a row.
Then they lost to the Eagles, and then they played against the Rams, and they lost. They beat the Rams badly. That was an awful game, but they beat the Rams. Also, just want to say, my boy Max Kellerman loves to, he says some out-of-pocket stuff sometimes, but I will agree with him here. In the Chiefs game against the Patriots, that game was over. Tom Brady threw an interception to end that game where the Chiefs, all they had to do was down the ball. But before they threw the interception, someone on the Chiefs defense jumped the line. They threw a flag, encroachment. Tom Brady lost that game. They got saved by a flag. Tom Brady easily could have lost another 2 more Super Bowls in his career with one play 2 years could have not been in the Super. So yes, he's the
Plays
greatest
like
of all
that
time.
happen. Plays like
It
that happen.
does. No, you're right.
If it wasn't for
No,
Ray
but you're
Allen,
right.
Brown would have not gotten that ring.
That is absolutely
Stuff
correct.
like that happens.
You're absolutely right. However, I still just want to say this. Tom Brady has never faced a Golden State Warriors.
Tom Brady he's faced great teams. He's just had
Great
better
teams,
offenses.
but never
And that's
had
not
the Golden State Warriors.
Yes, never Golden State Warriors, but LeBron would not have that problem if he had good players. And I do get that. Because it doesn't matter how good the Warriors are, but if LeBron had a good team, he could have easily beat the 73-9. And like I get it. He had nobody, which is why LeBron is the best.
And honestly, he probably could have beaten the Warriors if Kyrie and Kevin Love had not been out. Yeah. But your boy, wait a minute, your boy wanted to mess it all up. What's his name? Tried to rip Kevin Love's arm off in the Eastern Conference. Jay Crowder ripped my man's shoulder out of socket. Took Kevin Love out for the rest of the postseason. Kyrie got injured. LeBron took the Warriors to 6 games with freaking Matthew Dellavedova as the second best player. This man is crazy. He is that good that he can do that. Could have won that probably if Kyrie and Kevin Love would have been healthy. He would have won that. Proved that the following year. Saved a little bit by Kyrie, with the little jumper at the end to finish that Game 7 at Oracle, down 3-1, coming back. Showed that they were very capable. The next time they played, I truly, in my heart of hearts, believe that the next time, that third season when they played in a row, if J.R. Smith did not mess up,
it would have been a
Game 1. I think the series would have been completely different. I really, truly, in my heart of hearts, think that they would have won that series. The Cleveland Cavaliers would have won that series if J.R. Smith puts that ball back up after getting the rebound from the free throw.
Let's end this right here. So, yes, LeBron had a Warriors team. They play 82 games a year, right? The NFL is completely different. We're playing 16 games a year.
16 games as opposed to 82.
And anything can happen in the NFL, especially.
Anything can happen in the NBA too.
Exactly. You could be winning by 20 points with 2 minutes left, and you could come back. Mm-hmm. So that's why, you can't really say did they play a Warriors team in the NFL, because you could be the worst team ever. We lost to the Dolphins with a crazy return and stuff like that. Anything can happen. Yes. Because it could have been the worst team somehow make it to the Super Bowl and beating the Patriots with an interception. It was a great interception. That's season, but just a perfect moment. The perfect play is perfect, it just did an interception and could have lost. Stuff like that happens. And that could have happened. But it
didn't.
It didn't. So whether he played Warrior-like teams, doesn't matter how good, bad the other team was.
I hear you.
He could have done better.
I hear you. I appreciate your opinion.
Okay.
Although we are of differing opinions on this case.
Yes.
I have a hard time, and the only reason I'm going to give the edge to LeBron in this matchup, because he has been dominant for so long. Not that Brady hasn't been, but still now, 20 years in, I think in 3 years, LeBron probably will still be one of the most dominant players in the NBA. I don't think he's slowing down.
And that's your pick?
Tom Brady, yes, that's my pick is LeBron. Tom Brady has missed time due to injury. Mm-hmm. Played less games because the seasons are shorter, the games are shorter. Mm-hmm. LeBron has put more wear and tear on his body while still maintaining his greatness. Never missed significant time other than last season with his groin injury.
In 2000, if I remember correctly, 2008, Tom Brady played 1 game, got hurt, and didn't play for the rest of the season.
Mm-hmm. Oh. So that's not that saying that season saved him from whatever. He still had to play. He still, it's a year off. I don't know. It's tough to compare the two sports, but I think LeBron's got this one, and because I think LeBron, they're already winning 2-0. I think he gives another ring. I think this ring solidifies him probably for a lot of people as the greatest of all time. And I think that he still has years of dominance ahead of him. I don't think he's slowing down,
Yeah,
especially
absolutely.
now that he has an Anthony Davis as his number 2,
Mm-hmm.
who is
Mm-hmm.
really a number 1 option. I think that this allows him to not have to play as hard as he always has in his career, because he knows he has a second option who can do the same amount of work. I think he's just going to be better for longer, and I think that's why I have to give it to LeBron.
So what I'm gonna do here is I would love to give it to Tom Brady, because regardless of how many Super Bowl wins and what he's done, he did every year or every couple of years. His team changes, and they've all been with 6 wins. Him, the coach, and every new player every year they've had to like learn how to play together. You know what I mean? Like the
Right.
chemistry just came quick because of how good he and Bill Belichick were. But LeBron James has been carrying the shit out of the teams to get places, because he has nobody, so he has to do everything himself. And he has been dominant, and he still looks like he's not slowing down anytime soon. So
we're going with LeBron James.
James,
Goat of all goats, greatest of all time. Only gonna get better, I think. And I don't know how someone gets better after everything that he's done, but I think LeBron is gonna find a way. Yeah, well, that was fun. That was even more fun than I expected, honestly. I had a good time, Cheney. So now, oh my God, that's an awful yellow. You know what? It doesn't matter. We'll leave my pick as the number 1, so we'll just leave it in green.
I mean,
all right.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. Not that important, really.
Could have make it a different color just to be like.
Doesn't matter.
What's the mixture of red and green? You know what I'm saying? Like it could have been like a mixture
yellow.
of
It's
like.
Called. You ever seen a crayon box? It's called yellow green. It's not. That's not anything special. All right. Well, that's it, man. We've been talking a lot in this episode. I think it's time for.
You think you know?
Hey, we're coming back to this segment. For those of you who have never watched AfroLatinos or never heard of us before, we have a segment that we like to end our show with called You Think You Know. This is a trivia game show designed to figure out what Cheney and I know about whatever topic we decide to talk about. And today, I am on the hot seat. So Cheney has prepared 15 questions for me about something. I don't remember what it is about. Go ahead and intro, Cheney.
So, that you think you. So we usually tend to. The you think you know questions. We don't usually go by episode, right?
Sometimes we do.
Sometimes it's like we're from the topic.
Depends if it works out. Yeah.
If it works out. But if it doesn't, we just do 15 questions, random questions. So, if I can figure out how to make this share my screen, because I forgot.
You need to do it?
Well, I need to. I mean, if you want to put the timer, you can. But I have the timer up. I just had to share the screen.
Oh, you can go ahead and do it. You got it.
So from where? Where?
You can't share it? It doesn't show up?
Oh, right. It's the middle. You disabled participant screen sharing, so.
I don't think I did. I didn't try to. I mean, I didn't do it on purpose.
You didn't do it. So it's okay. You can put up.
You know what? Here. You're the host of the meeting now, so you can do it. Okay, that's enough.
Okay. I just share my whole screen. Okay. So.
Oh, such a cute picture. See, look, best hockey player. We even had to look him up. We don't even know. We don't even know who the hockey players are. We really don't. That's
okay.
The little. Hold on. Get the little full screen button, so we don't. I don't want to see all the extra stuff on Google.
The little full screen button where?
Yeah, right next to the audio button, right there in the timer. It's the one with the 4 little bracket things. Yeah, right there.
Oh, okay. There you go. Okay, so. I have 15 questions prepared for Aubyn, and I will only take one answer, but he can still answer by the time the time runs out. And
what's the category? You think you know?
Oh yeah. I'll just make sure. I'm making sure I got it. The category is you think you know Disney Channel shows,
Ooh.
but it's
Like
based
throwback Disney Channel shows?
Disney Channel shows. From what I see,
Okay. No, no,
some of
no.
them are
That's fine.
throwbacks.
That's
So
fine. That's
yeah.
fine. Do you know Disney Channel shows? I'm
Yep.
I'm about it.
But
All right.
there's a little catch
A little catch. Okay.
based off the theme song lyrics.
So you're just gonna read the lyrics.
I'm gonna read the lyrics. Maybe I'll do a little singing so
Nah,
you
just
can
read them.
get
Just
it.
read them. If you sing it, then I probably will know it. If you just read them, it's gonna
Okay.
be like, oh, can I
Okay.
think of the melody?
Okay.
So you think you know. So Cheney did explain the rules. I have 30 seconds to try and figure it out. I got one guess. You only take my first answer. I can answer before the end of the 30 seconds, or I can waste my time because I forget. So I'm ready.
All right. I'm your basic, average girl, and I'm here to save the world. You can't stop me because
Kim Possible.
I didn't even have to start that.
You didn't have to start that was the jam. Call me, beat me, if you want to reach me, if you want to pay me, it's okay. Whenever you need me, baby, call me, beat me, if you want to reach me.
This one's
Call me,
there you go. That's enough. Stop. We get it.
That was the jam, bro. That theme song was fire.
All right, my boys. 1-for-1. Number 2. If you could gaze into the future, you'd think life would be a breeze.
Seeing trouble from a distance, yeah. That's so Raven is the future. I can see that so it's so mysterious to me. Yeah. That's how she always ended. Oh, that was such a good show. Did I ever tell you the story about that show for me? That show haunts me to this day, bro.
Why?
So we're very, as I've said in previous shows, we're a very conservative Christian household. We don't play with like magic and all that all that stuff we don't play with, right?
Yeah.
So there was one year when That's So Raven was really popular. McDonald's, you know how they used to put out like toys based on TV shows and stuff? There was one that McDonald's put out, and it was a That's So Raven like future predictor or something stupid like that. And we were at McDonald's in Lewisburg, and my mom was like, hey, we don't play with that. We don't do that psychic stuff. Like, that's not a thing. Like, you're not going to play with that anymore. And my freaking sister, she said, but you let us watch the show.
Oh.
And my mom said, well, guess what? You're not watching the show anymore. And that was the last time I ever watched That's So Raven. And my feelings were so hurt because I love that show. So.
I blame your sister, bro.
I do.
Okay. Number 3. 2 for 2. Number 3 is, here I am in your life, and here you are in mine.
You are in mine. Guess we got the sweet life.
I didn't even get a chance to start the timer.
And we got the sea, so come on
down.
That was really first of all, theme songs really used to be the jam.
They're
Every
fire,
single
bro.
good theme
Bops.
song, especially on Disney Channel, had a bop. Every single one of them. What happened to the theme shows, man? They went away. The theme songs went away.
But if you go back to Disney Channel right now and look at the shows, first of all, the acting is terrible.
Awful,
it's disgusting.
Bro.
It's
everything
so
about
bad.
everything about it was awful. Genuinely.
Oh.
All right. I'll stop getting distracted.
Number 4. You get the limo around front. Hottest styles every shoe.
Hottest styles every shoe, every color. Okay. No one ever. That's Hannah Montana, bro. Chill out. That's Hannah Montana. That's an easy one. I think gonna get harder, Cheney, because I'm killing this right now, bro. 4 for 4, baby. That's how we do out here. You know what I'm saying?
You're about to go 5 for 5. So
hey.
There you go. There's 104 days of summer vacation, and the school comes along
just to end it. Oh, that's Phineas and Ferb, my guy.
Yes, it is.
Phineas and Ferb. I didn't really like that show, to be honest with you. Theme song's still a bop.
I would just watch it.
But it was all right. Yeah, it was one of those shows that, like, I didn't have to see the new episode, but if it was on, I'd be like, all right, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
The best part of it was all about Agent P, man. A platypus?
Yeah.
Harry the platypus? Stupid. What a hat. That's the superhero conversation we talked about before, man. That's stupid people, bro.
All right. Number 6. 5 for 5. Doing good. Number 6. Well, you know everything's gonna be a breeze, and we'll end up with no doubt. Just by all means, you can fix every problem with the slightest of ease. Yes, please.
Mm. Uh, oh my God. What is the name of that stupid show, bro?
But first of all,
Say it
what's the name
again.
of this
Say
one?
it. Say it. Say it. No, it was a great show. It was a great show. One of my favorites. And
Well,
I
you
can
know, all right.
picture. I can picture the people. Say it one more time.
Well, you know everything's gonna be a breeze, and
You
we'll end
know
up with no
everything's
doubt.
gonna
Just
be a
by
breeze. Yes, please. Selena Gomez, Wizards of Waverly Place.
there you go. Wow,
6.
5 seconds to
Whew.
get 6-5. 6 for 6, my boy. Oh my. All right.
I watched a lot of TV growing up on the weekends only, but
All right. Come along. Oh, that just okay. Number 7. Come along with me, and let's head out to see what this world has for you and for me now. Whichever way the wind blows, I say let's go.
is that Sweet Life on Deck?
Pretty sure, yes.
What do you mean pretty sure? That's right.
Yes, that's right.
I think that one because I remember watching that show, but I don't remember being obsessed with it, and I don't remember the theme
I
song very
watched this
much.
one
Like that was
more
like
than the.
Sweet Life on Deck was probably the end of me watching Disney Channel. Like that was the end of Disney Channel for me.
That's fair.
That era of Disney.
Okay, that was number 7. So he's 7 for 7. That's probably the best we've done.
I'm getting nervous because if I want to get a perfect score so bad, but I'm nervous one of these is really going to be like old and I'm not going to remember it.
I mean,
Let's keep going. I just want to get 100 so bad.
Give me a second. I gotta get back to it. Okay. Oh my god, I almost dipped on it. All right, here we go. Everybody get out on the floor. It can get a little crazy when the kick hits the floor. Everybody get out on the floor. It can get a little crazy when the kick hits the floor. "15 seconds. You might have not seen this. I did, but you might have not seen it.
I only have one answer, and it's the only thing I can imagine. And I think this is Shake It Up, the one with Zendaya.
One second left.
Is that what it was?
It's what it is.
I was thinking that from that's the one. Shake it up. Since I had I like Zendaya. I've always liked Zendaya, so I really liked that show for a little bit. I remember watching like the first season, but again, that was still the time when I wasn't really watching Disney Channel. So yeah, that was a hard one. I wanted to say it, but I wanted to make sure because I didn't want to be wrong.
Now you're 8 for 8. Look at you go.
No, stop saying it because I'm getting nervous.
Number 9. Today's all burnt toast running late and dad jokes. Has anybody seen my left shoe? Close my eyes, take a bite, grab a ride, laugh out loud. There it is up on the roof.
Oh my God, I can hear it.
Oh.
I need you to read it again.
Okay. Today's all burnt toast running late and dad jokes. Has anybody seen my left shoe?
Anyone seen my left shoe?
Close my eyes, take a bite. Yeah.
I'm gonna say a show. I think this is right, but honestly, again, I'm getting into shows that I don't know that I know that I know. I'm gonna guess Sunny with a Chance because I feel like that's Demi Lovato's show.
Final answer?
That's my final answer.
And you're wrong.
No! What was it?
It was Good Luck, Charlie.
Hang in there, baby. Things are crazy, but I know the future's bright. Ah!
Hey.
I had to get one wrong.
You had to get one wrong.
I told you to shut up and not let me just think, man, bro. You over here talking about, dang it.
I had to. I couldn't let you do all that.
That's hard. That's tough. All right, go on to the next one. I need to redeem myself.
Okay.
I knew I was wrong, too. I did not feel confident in that answer.
All right. My whole world is changing, turning around. They got me going crazy and shaking the ground. But they took a chance on a new girl in town, and I don't want to let them down, down, down.
I'm just gonna don't even start the timer. I don't care if I'm wrong. I've never watched this show a single episode in my life. Is this Jesse?
Yes.
I've never watched a single episode of my life. That was a guess.
That's so
I
crazy. I mean, I really like that show. Like me and my brother watch the show all the.
Nope, I don't have nothing.
All right. Well, you're 9 for 10. So that's better than we've done.
Yes, it's pretty good. So let's just see if I can finish out with only one L.
All right. Number 11. When the crowd wants more, I bring on the thunder because you got my back and I'm not going under. You're my point, you're my guard, you're the perfect chord, and I see our names together on every billboard. You got it on my make you say, hey, my keep rocking. Oh, there's no way I can make it without you, do it without you, be without you, and it's no.
I don't know this one at all.
I really like that too.
It's got to be one of those ones that is newer Disney Channel, bro.
No. This was like
This is old?
it's not old, but it's like it was still good, like good prime Disney Channel.
Nope. I don't even have a guess. I'm not even gonna try. I can't.
It is Austin and Ally.
Never watched an episode of my
When you,
life.
well, this was around the time where you got old. So
That's when I got old. Like I said, that is not Disney Channel to me. That's how people like how my dad feels about the Star Wars franchise. Like the old movies are the only Star Wars movies. Everything else is garbage. That's how I feel about Disney Channel.
that's so crazy. Okay. Well, I lost count. What is it? What were you?
This is number 12. I was 9 for 10. Now
Nine,
I'm 9 for 11.
9 for 11. Imagine going 9 for 11, bro.
Still
Good,
better
bro.
than any of our scores ever.
I mean, yes, so far. Okay. I keep idiot. Okay. Everybody's got that thing, something different they'll bring. Don't you let them clip your wings. You got it. You got it. This was a good show, also. All this was like
Post Aubyn Disney Channel watching. That's all that you're doing to me right now.
But it's like
Read it
young
again.
days.
Wait, read it again because this isn't it. I'm not gonna get it. This one either.
Everybody's got that thing, something different they all bring. Don't you let them clip your wings. You got it. You got
What's that song? The show with the little black girl. Ant Farm.
There you go.
China Ann McClain. That's her
Anne
name.
McClain, little black girl. Why you say it like that?
Because I could see her face. I could see her, but I couldn't.
You had bops in that bitch too.
I think nope, but never watched it.
It was a good show. Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
10 for 12?
Something like that. I don't know.
Are you sure you're ready? You know what I'm saying?
I'm ready, man. I'm ready. Let's go. Let's get it going.
Don't yelling at me, first of all. All right. I've been waiting for a day like this to come struck like lightning. My heart's beating like a jump on the edge of something wonderful. You got time to think. Don't worry.
Read it again.
Okay. You might have not seen this one. It was okay, but okay. I've been waiting for a day like this to come struck like lightning. My heart's beating like a jump on the edge of something wonderful. It's a sequel.
I don't have it.
I don't blame you. I didn't really like the show. I did like the original. The sequel wasn't my favorite. It is Girl Meets World.
Oh no.
Boy Meets World was fire.
Never watched Girl Meets World. Yeah, my dad loves. I've never really watched Boy Meets World. My dad has. He loves it, but
that show is fire.
Don't got it. All right, next.
I know it sounds crazy, but time doesn't phase me ever since it lost its hold on me.
Say it again. I know this one.
I know it sounds crazy, but time doesn't phase me ever since it lost its hold on me.
Maybe I don't know it. Would I know this show?
No.
No.
It wasn't.
I
It
don't.
wasn't a great show either, so I don't blame you.
I don't have it. I don't think I
It was, it
could get this one.
was a pretty bad show, but it's called Best Friends Whenever.
What the heck is that?
Good question. I know
Okay.
the show.
All
I
right.
know the
Just
show.
mm-mm.
I watched
Nope.
it, but it wasn't.
I don't care. Nope. Just move on. I'm mad.
Is that
I
four?
was doing so well. Yeah, I was doing so well, and now I'm
11
falling
and
apart.
11
All
and
right.
4.
All right, Joe. All right, next.
Okay, last one. You're not gonna get this one, so we might as well call it 11 and 15. But anything. Anyway, I mean, you're nothing but trouble. You're nothing but trouble. But trouble's what I like. Got a whole lot to figure out, so let's start tonight. Just
Don't
take
even start the timer, bro. Just tell me what it is. I don't know what that is. I don't think
Look,
I would be able to guess this if you gave me 4 choices of shows. I would probably not be able to guess this one.
no, you got time, bro. You got
I
it.
don't want the time. Time's not gonna help me. I'm not gonna know it. I don't care about the timer. I'm not gonna get this one. I got 10 for 15, which is just about as average as we always get. We're ending the show. That's it. What's the answer, Teeny?
I don't even know the answer, to be honest with you. I need the answer to the other one. It's not this one. I don't know what show this is.
You don't even know the name of it? You don't have it written down?
I just have the lyrics and I forgot to write it down because it was like the last minute. So this one was like, I remember it and I forgot.
So here's what I want you to do, audience. I went 10 for 15 on this one.
No, you
but
went
nobody
11.
knows. No,
Oh, 10.
I think I
You
got
went
10.
11.
Nobody knows the answer to this one. So what I want you to do, audience,
No.
is see if you.
Before you get them to do that, do you want me to do a question that you'll know?
No, it
Get that
doesn't
one?
matter.
The
I
last
don't care.
one was
No, it's
unfortunate. So
fine.
that last one doesn't
It's
count.
fine. We've been on this for a long time. If they're still with us this far, more power to them. What I want you to do, ladies and gentlemen, if you have been listening this far, thank you so much for listening. We appreciate you. We hope you had a good time listening to the episode.
I just looked it up. I know what it is, but
I don't want to know. I don't want to know because what I want you to do, audience, is I want you to please comment below on our video on YouTube or send us a message on Facebook or wherever you can find us. AfroLatinos, we're pretty much everywhere. Let us know the answer to that song, and that would be really cool. So thank you for joining us on another episode of AfroLatinos. This has been a lot of fun. Of course, my pick of the GOAT of all GOATs is the winner. It just makes sense. I know more about sports than Cheney, so it just how is what it is.
He's had a couple more years ahead of me too, but
that's all right. Let us know your opinions. If you disagree with anything that we have to say, let us know. Comment below on our YouTube video. Send us an email at afrolatinospodcast@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook at AfroLatinos and let us know your thoughts of the episode. Whether you agreed or disagreed with our thoughts and our opinions on greatest players of all time in every sport and the greatest of all greatests. This has been another fantastic episode of AfroLatinos podcast. You can find our merch on redbubble.com. Search AfroLatinos and you'll find us. We have masks, we have t-shirts, we have stickers. We got pretty much anything you could think of. You can put us on anything.
On a mug. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right. I have it on my phone case. I have the sticker on the phone case. I got it everywhere. So just follow us everywhere. Follow us on our brand new YouTube page, AfroLatinos. Subscribe, like us, let us know what you think. We have a new show, AfroLatinos and Amigos. It's super fun. We always have a great time. I think that's all the announcements. Oh, find us on Spotify, on Apple Music, on Anchor. Follow us everywhere, man. We're just two guys who just trying to have a little fun. So I think that's everything that we have to say. This has been a great episode, everybody. Peace.
Buen día. You're so fast. I was like, oh, that's me. Okay.